Thank you for joining me for Mooneyes and Dark Moon Council by I.L.Davis. Page 24 going on 25. In the center of the castle was the tallest tower, and from it was where the king had thought of the idea of the boulders rolling from the walls. At the center of the tower was a very deep cavern where the stone cutters shaped the heavy boulders. Then, using a weight system of the king's own making, they brought the boulders up to be ready. Only 3 were kept at the top of each ramp. The rest were sent up as the fight started. In 500 years, the walls have never been breached, and the castle has never lost to an enemy. King Heron took Gemini out into the garden and showed him the statues he was having made of them. For the King Heron had fallen in love with the Dog Knight's people and their pets. King Heron told Gemini, "As king and a good friend of mine has a land far to the north. He will need help. I'm sending some of my men to help with him in his time of need. I would like you and Dog Knight to go to them in my name as knights of my kingdom." Gemini stood up and said, "If there's a battlefield, I will be there, and it will be an honor." Crash and Dog Knight joined them. The king laughed at Crash. "I hear you have become an even better warrior than you were." One of the statues behind the king was covered. He pulled the blanket from it, and there stood a stone figure of Crash. Crash stood up straight, saluted the king, and thanked him for the honor. King Heron looked over at Dog Knight and said, "Here comes my son Aiden you saved. It is time for you to start training him on the ways of the hunter." Dog Knight looked uncertain of this, but he had given his word. It seemed like years ago to him now, but the boy was now old enough to learn the ways of the Moon Elves, even though it was against the rules of his people to train outsiders. While Dog Knight stayed behind to train King Heron's son, Gemini and Crash traveled to the King Torson's castle, which was under attack from another clan from the east coast. It was an old war that had begun going on for years, but with Gemini and Crash there, it did not go on much longer. They made short work of the fight. Never had anyone seen a moon elf or his pet before. That day, Gemini wore an emblem of King Heron on his armor. No one said anything out of line to him. The king brought them forward before his people and appointed them knights of his kingdom. Gemini's dream was coming true. His name was now in 2 races history books, but he felt empty inside without Dove with him. Thank you for joining me for Mooneyes and the Dark Moon Council by I.L.Davis. Please like, share, and follow. Thank you. Help a starving artist.